All right, welcome back. We continue live right here. Ireland Contracting, Nightly Sports Call, Pittsburgh CW, Bordas and Bordas Hotline, which is 412-575-2600. Rich, they are jammed for lines. Let's go right out to them. Jerry in Hempfield kicks us off tonight. Hey, Jerry, what's up?
How you doing, Bob? How you doing, Rich? Hey, I ain't talked
Jerry.
to you for a while, Rich, so I'm going to give you this question.
Okay, go ahead.
On the inductees, when they induct people for Hall of Fame, let's just say they're going to put 7 in. They should put 7 players, not 6 players and a coach, because they're shortchanging a player. Why don't they make a special category for coaches and owners and make a separate place for them in the Hall of Fame, and that way you don't cheat now? Because I think Alan Faneca should have got in before Bill Cowher. Put the managers and
Well,
the
that
coaches
was different this year, Jerry. They usually put 5 in. This year, they had that centennial class, which they put an extra 15 people in. They did 10 senior players.
That affected Alan
They did
Faneca,
2 coaches. They did the three contributors. And
DJ Mikey Mike is he's cooking something in the Manor House kitchen over there for PTL, just in case you were wondering what that was.
Yeah, we're getting food here soon here on the Nightly Sports Call. But that's why they did it this year. So I think Alan Faneca gets in next year. But what worries me is there's probably 2 first ballot Hall of Famers next year with Peyton Manning and Charles Woodson. So that means there's 3 spots left next year.
Alan Faneca will get one. He should have got one ahead of Steve Hutchinson this year.
Similar numbers. Were you surprised?
Better numbers. Alan Faneca not only had 1 more All-Pro season, and that's important, he also had a Super Bowl win against a Seattle team, which had Steve Hutchinson on it. And in that game, he opened up Willie Parker for a 75-yard touchdown run, the longest in Super Bowl history. Faneca was at the point of that attack. To me, all of that is the checkmark Alan Faneca. But for whatever reason, and I do think there's a Steeler bias, because Donnie Shell and Bill Cowher got into this, if they did not have the centennial class this year, Rich, I think they would have put Alan Faneca.
I thought it might have worked the other way, actually, and I was saying this the other night with Paul Zeisler's show. I thought maybe Alan Faneca would get in because so many Steelers were getting in this year, and it was going to be one big Steeler party in Canton in August. That's what I was thinking. And I was looking at Hutchinson and Faneca's numbers, thinking they're so similar that maybe Faneca wins out. But I would imagine next year he's going to get in. If not next year, it's going to be the year after. He's going to get in at some point.
Absolute next year.
You're going to bet on it right now.
I'll bet you right now he'll get in. And he should have been in already, but he isn't. Let's go to Greg, line 2 on the hotline. What's up, Greg? Welcome to the Sports Call.
Hi, Bob, Richie.
Hey, how you doing, Greg?
What happened to trade Juju Schuster in this upcoming draft? Who would they get in the draft pick? I'll hang up and listen to you.
He wants a wide receiver?
Who would you get? I mean, if you trade Juju Smith-Schuster, what kind of draft pick would you get?
First of all, I don't think anyone is going to take Juju Smith-Schuster for a #1 pick right now. He doesn't have enough in him to get a #1 pick. Therefore, I don't think they're going to do anything but keep
take away
him here.
last year.
You can't take away last year.
But the first 2 years, he was pretty good.
He was
a late
first
rounder, early second rounder.
No, I don't think so. I think they're not going to even entertain that. They
I don't
want
think
him
the
as
Steelers
part of
would
this
do it
team. They know what he can do. They just need to add on to it. I think their #1 issue going into this is a tight end, someone of the size and the ability of what we saw yesterday. The 2 tight ends in that game.
Tight end, running back, healthy running back.
Offensive line, it's never too late to start thinking about that. They've got some guys, Rich, on that line who are getting up there in age, and sooner or later you have to add on to this group. But they don't have a first, they don't have a third. That's going to make it a little bit more challenging. We'll see what they do, but it's going to be fascinating to watch. Donnie in Brookline is up next right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Go ahead, Donnie.
Hi, how are you tonight, Bob?
Good, and you?
Good. Yeah, so I'm calling because I feel like every year they decide to say that the quarterback and the coach are the best coach ever, best quarterback ever after every Super Bowl. So how do you feel about Andy Reid ranking up to Mike Tomlin? What's your thoughts on that?
Well, it's funny about Andy Reid, Rich. Thanks for the call, Don. You know, midway through this game, into the third quarter on social media, if you use it as your gauge, people are already talking about, there he goes, Andy Reid can't win another big one. He's just never going to get it done. He's not a good enough coach. And all of a sudden it twisted the other way. People are so quick to make judgments on coaches. Now, Kyle Shanahan, who is riding a wave. Everyone loved him, what he did this year. He goes into a game in which he makes a controversial decision at the end of the first half not to use his timeouts, not to get the ball back, not to try to score. And I think that was critical. And then some of the play calling in the second half. All of a sudden now people in San Francisco are wondering about, can he coach in a big game? This is how it goes in social media when it comes to big games. People vacillate left and right with their opinions.
You're the #1 coach in the NFL, and then they want you fired the next day.
Exactly.
I think Andy Reid's coaching is probably similar to like a Bill Cowher, I would imagine. Winning a Super Bowl. How many more years does Andy Reid have? I mean, as long as he has
Patrick Mahomes,
he's going to be there for quite some time. I mean, this is a guy you want to build around, and he's going to get a blockbuster contract. He's not going to have to worry about anything coming up.
No, I think that's great. Andy Reid's a good, fertile offensive mind, and I think the players on that team really like and respect him.
You know what I was thinking about, Bob? I was thinking about Steven Nelson. He came from that team.
Yeah.
I want to ask him when the Steelers get back to OTAs, how far away the Steelers are from the Chiefs. He was on that team. I wonder if he's regretting not trying to re-sign with the Chiefs.
Well, I think that was a mutual thing. I don't think.
I think it was too.
So he decided to move on, and that's a good choice for him. He likes it here. But the Chiefs put together a pretty good defense too, better than I think. And boy, some of their players up front were outstanding in that game yesterday. Pete in Squirrel Hill is next up right here on the Sports Call. What's up, Pete?
Hey, Pete.
Hey guys, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Don't forget, Bob, Andy Reid comes from the Bill Walsh tree. But anyway, what about Kyle? You mentioned his play calling, Bob. Don't forget, he was the offensive coordinator in Atlanta, New England, with a 3-touchdown lead in the second half, Bob. Shanahan was snapping the ball with 12 seconds left on the play clock, extended the game 3 minutes, enabled the Patriots to come back. That is unconscionable to drop the ball 2 times in the Super Bowl. Thanks very much.
No, you're right, and he's facing that criticism right now for all the good he's done, and I think he's really done a good job out there in 3 years to get this team, and it's still looked at as a Super Bowl contender next season. The thing they're going to have to figure out, Jimmy Garoppolo, what exactly is he, Rich? Because, quite frankly, they did not seem to trust him in big game situations. Now, their run game had a lot to do with that. They had guys who were fast, and they utilized it very well, but it seemed like at critical times they didn't necessarily want to pass that guy, and I think they invest $125 million in it.
If Garoppolo hits Emmanuel Sanders, we have a totally different conversation going on right now. He was about 5 yards. You overthrew him about 5 or 10 yards, right?
Yeah, but I also thought Sanders quit on that. If you look back at it, he did not.
I'd have to look at it again.
You will, and you'll see that he kind of just stopped. And I don't know why he stopped, because I think if he had just exerted it, at least he would have had a diving attempt.
I just don't understand why they got away from their game plan and what they did leading up to the Super Bowl.
True. And, what are you going to do?
Were they worried about how this Chiefs offense? I mean, they've outscored teams by 92 points in their comebacks.
If you have the ball, possess the ball, which is what I
understand
thought. That's why I picked them. I thought their defense and their ball possession time would make it hard for Kansas City to keep the ball.
I picked the Chiefs, by the way.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
We have lovely parting gifts for me. We're going to take a break, come back with more. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call, 7 nights a week. We're always here on Pittsburgh CW. Hope you join us every single night. Back with more after this.